Millie is living a double life. To the world, she's an applicant for a domestic job, but her reality is a car parked in a gas station lot and a criminal record she's desperate to keep buried. This level of invisibility is exactly what a predator looks for. Someone who can't call the police, has no fixed address, and is essentially a ghost in the eyes of the law is the ultimate disposable employee. For Millie, the Long Island mansion she walks into isn't just a workplace, it's a sanctuary. It represents an end to the diner sink hair washes and the constant fear of being discovered by the authorities. When the alternative is a freezing car and a looming parole violation, the red flags of a new job don't look like warnings, they look like a price you're willing to pay. For Millie, self-preservation overrides the instinct to walk away from a situation that already feels off. The estate projects a curated image of wealth and stability, but once inside, the perfection feels brittle. There is a vibration of the mystic tension that seems ready to snap. The employers provide a stark study in contrasts. Nina is erratic, prone to mood swings and hiding a pregnancy, while her husband, Andrew, presents himself as the long-suffering, saintly protector trying to manage his wife's chaos. Millie is tethered to this house by a specific legal mechanism. As a parolee, any termination or report of misconduct doesn't just mean losing a paycheck, it means a 5-year return to a prison cell. Nina is well aware of this leverage. She uses the threat of Millie's employment status to enforce a regime of constant demeaning tasks and impossible expectations. This isn't a standard employment contract. Millie is a legal hostage, confined by the threat of incarceration to a household that is rapidly becoming a pressure cooker. The physical layout of the house begins to mirror the psychological trap. Millie is placed in a tiny attic room where the single window is permanently sealed shut. The most telling detail of the room is the door. It is built to lock only from the hallway, and Millie is never given a key to her own living space. Nina's behavior spirals. She accuses Millie of theft, destroys her own property in fits of rage, and eventually confronts the maid while holding a jagged, bloody shard of glass. Millie finds Nina's hidden antipsychotic medication and hears the whispers from neighbors about a previous attempt Nina made to drown her own child. This environment is a masterclass in psychological framing. By the time the attic door is locked, the combination of physical isolation, medical history, and neighborhood gossip has convinced Millie, and the audience, that Nina is the primary threat. Seeking an escape from the escalating violence, Millie turns to Andrew, who has maintained a persona of calm, rational empathy throughout the chaos. Events move with sudden speed. Millie and Andrew begin an affair. Nina discovers them, and in a seemingly decisive move, Andrew kicks his wife out of the house. For a moment, Millie believes she has won. She steps into Nina's life, imagining a future of luxury and safety. The victory is an illusion. Andrew fires the groundskeeper, removes the final witness, and locks Millie in the attic. The attic door is the final piece of the puzzle. Nina's outbursts were a distraction from the man who actually owns the locks. Andrew is the one who controlled the environment all along. To understand what is actually happening, we have to look past the surface chaos. Andrew is a sadistic abuser who has spent years drugging and framing his wife to ensure the world sees her as a monster. This flowchart illustrates Nina's countermove. Unable to leave Andrew directly, she sought a replacement, a perfect scapegoat. Nina intentionally draws Millie toward Andrew, knowing he would obsess over his new victim, granting Nina the opening to disappear. Nina was executing a desperate survival algorithm. She used Millie as live bait to buy her own freedom from a man who had effectively erased her identity. The cycle breaks during the violent climax. Millie refuses to submit to Andrew's torture, fighting back with a desperation that matches his cruelty, just as Nina returns to finish what she started. The two women unite against the man who tried to own them both. In the struggle, Andrew is thrown over the railing, falling to his death on the expensive floors of the home he used as a prison. Nina handles the aftermath with chilling efficiency, staging the scene as a tragic accident and playing the role of the grieving widow for the police. In the epilogue, Millie is at a new job interview. She spots the subtle tension in the room and the husband's patronizing tone, and she immediately offers the new wife a way out. The most effective monsters are those who master the social script. They hide in plain sight, using charm and absolute composure to curate the world's perception of their victims. Andrew didn't just hurt people, he used his status to convince everyone else they were the ones losing their minds.